Okay, good morning everyone. So in the last tutorial we have already finished the animation setting and also the camera track. So today is the last part about the model animation setting. So first is let's talk about what the things we're going to do. Press the Auto key on hide everything. So basically we are going to do physical simulation. Make the zombie break the soil and then climbing out of the grave and stand up. So that's the things we're going to do. So in order to do that, we need to do a couple things first. First thing is please go to here, this one, the scene property. Because the model which I give you is something which I have already changed the setting. So I hope you can bring the things back. First thing, please remove the rigid body word and also for the gravity part, type in negative 9.8. Okay, so you can with this operation you can bring the gravity back to your model scene. Alright? And second thing, let's go to here. Let's choose in the model which you already made before and go to the object property. Right now, as far as I can see, if your model only has one collection, the D grave, well, which means for now your setting is correct. Okay, so now let's press the slash key. Let's turn on the shake viewer, press slash key, and isolate the object. Okay, so the next part, I'm going to ask you, first thing, go to Object, and if you don't have the cell fracture, please go to Add, Edit, Preferences, and on the add-on, find the cell fracture. That's the in default add-on of Blender, and we can use this one to broken some geometry into solid pieces. So once you turn on that one, select your object, go to Quick Effects, Cell Fractures. Now let's take a look. For sure, the source limit and also the recursions is about the pieces you want to have. So I'd like to change this one to 2. Alright? For noise, I will increase the number. You can choose in 1 or I will choose in 0.5. And for the pieces, you can choose in big, small or random. I will use in small. And then click OK. Okay? So once you finish, well, you can see inside Blender, it will keep the original object and also the broken object. So for the original object, I will press M key and move the original object go to the B backup folder. Alright, so let's hide this one. So now we have the broken pieces. We can try to make this one be affected by the gravity. So let's go to Object and go to Rigid Body. Well, probably you have to select the right object, otherwise somehow you will select the wrong one. Select all of them and choosing Object, Rigid Body. If it's not working for you, well, let's just do that again. And choosing Add Active. Once you finish this operation, and let's go to this here again, we can go to these sections, calculate masses, and you can choose in the material you want. Usually, I think I will choose the iron. Well, make this one more heavier. Alright? So once you finish this operation, as far as you can see right now, we have the rigid body word 001. That's the things we have for now. Let's move your time slider back to the 0. And also, let's check right here. Make sure you have already deleted all the backs, okay? Because the one I give you probably will have the back before. And right here, that's the one which we made before, the rigid word 001. That's the one we just created. And also you can check right here. Right now we are constrained by the rigid word 001. Okay, and for the constraint, we can find it one back, the rigid word constraint. Now let's play. If it will fall down, which means it's success. Alright? So basically, for now I think it's pretty much done about the cracking pieces. The next thing is, because for now it will keep falling down, so I'm going to create a plan. Let's enlarge this one. Okay? And also we can assign a new material. And I hope we already have a similar one. So I will find an invisible material, this one, so that we will want to see this plan. And I'd like to add a physical property for this plan. So let's go to Object, Rigid Body, Add Passive. Okay? So now let's take a look. The object will fall in on the plan. Okay? For sure, there is still something more you can adjust. For example, you can increase the reflections, frictions, and bouncing. So if you increase the parameter right here, well, if you increase the frictions, basically the things will stop on the plan. So basically, because the frictions now is super strong. And from bounciness, you can make the stop bounce more. But for now, the things is too heavy, so it doesn't work. Alright, so let's bring the things back. And now, another thing is that, because, yeah, for sure we can using the model as our zombie model as the rigid body object, and using the zombie to broken the soil. But the shape of the zombie is too complicated, and if we want to do that kind of calculation, it would take a lot of time. So rather than do that, I will using a simple sphere or a simple cylinder. Let's scale down the cylinder and let's scale up on the z directions. Alright, so probably just right here. And again, go to Object and add the rigid body active. Let's do a keyframe setting. So let's insert location 1 and now frame 60. Let's move this guy here. And now let's play. Okay, it doesn't work. Why is that? Because for this guy, we have to set to passive. And also we have to turn on animated. Let's do that again. Okay, it broken. But it seems like it was too strong. Let's do that again. Okay, so actually it was too strong. So rather than using convex hull, I think this time we can using mesh. For the mesh, it will perfectly fit the geometries itself. So using the shape of the geometry to do the bouncing. Alright? And also, I think we can increase the number of frictions, and probably for the bounciness, well, we can try and find a better solution for that. Probably for the bounciness, let's increase the number. Alright. Still a little bit too strong. Let's scale down this one. Control A and apply the scale. Alright, something like that. Probably now it's too small, so we need to find. Let's call out all of our model. So let's press slash key. Okay, and let's drag. Okay, so for now, when the zombie wake up, it will be here from 140 to 106. And so basically we can using this one, we can find out the shape. I think it's around here, right here. So we can change that. First things, let's move the keyframe 140 to 160. Okay, and then for the 140, let's move your geometry here and probably move close to the ground. And insert location and rotations. For the frame 160, let's copy one more and delete the original keyframe. Copy and move this one up, probably around here. Insert, location, and rotation. So it will just like this, right? And for the material, we can also using the invisible one. So let's go here to find the invisible one. Press I key, and where's the invisible? This one. So now we won't see that. Okay. And another thing is that we have already created a plan. If you remember, that's the plan for put the cracking object. So I want to move the plan go up. So let's go to the side view. Make sure probably around here. I think right here will be fine. And we can make this one smaller. All right. Now let's do the simulation again. Don't forget to save your file, otherwise you will lose all the property because this time it will take a lot of resources to do the calculations. Okay, so now it seems fairly okay. Alright, so basically it worked. It will broken the pieces of the rock and then start to walk. So, but at the very beginning, all this rock they will fall down because they will be affected by the gravity. So how can we fix that? Well, we can select all plan, go to rigid body, and then using connect. It will take some time to do the calculations. Alright, so once you finish, it will look like this. Let's take a look. So basically at the very beginning, it will hold every piece together until the cracking object start to move. Once the cylinder start to move, you try to crack in your object. But right now, obviously, the connection is too strong, so we have to change that. Let's go to the physical property. First things I think it's better for us to move all the broken pieces into a new folder, so it will be easier for us to control your model. Right? Let's click OK. So now we can use this one to, we can go to this folder to do the control. And also for all these constraints, I want to do the same things. Let's choosing all of them. Go for this constraint, M key, and go to the, where is that? Broken pieces right here. Alright, so I think it will be easier for us to control. So let's choosing all of them. Isolate selections. Right, so for now they are too sticky. So we need to decrease the number uh, of the connections. Otherwise, when the cylinder bump into the pieces of rock, they will still stick together and they will move together. So next part, that's the things we are going to do. Okay, so in order to make your rock, can be breakable, we need to reset the connections. First, let's select all this handle and delete all of them. Alright? And reselect the piece of rock. Go to Object, Rigid Bodies. Well, for now, let this appear. That's okay. Let's choosing one and then hold on Shift key, Rigid Body, and choosing Connect. It will take some time to finish these operations. Let's just wait. So once you finish, you will see things like this. And also, very important, don't close this panel, right? And we need to choose in select to active rather than chain by distance. So make sure they are in this segment. Again, it will take time to finish the operations. Okay, so now it has been finished. Let's choose in all this handle. And right now you cannot see the difference. So let's choose in one of them and select rest. Right now you can see on the physical property setting, there is an option which named breakable. Hold on your auto key and check this one. For the threshold, I would suggest you probably change to, I think 20 or 25 would be quite enough. So like something like this. Right click, choosing copy data path. Right click again, copy to selected. So for now, all the handle will share the same threshold, and also all of them can be breakable. Now let's press your space key. Let's take a look. As far as you can see, it still cannot be completely hold the breaking of the rock, but well, it will stuck right here until 140 frames. Once the cylinder go out, well, the rock will be broken. But somehow this part stuck right here. So sometimes it's pretty tricky because you never know what happened to these pieces. So probably we can change the frictions and then do that again. Hopefully it will not stuck there. Okay, still right here. So let's take a look. We are not so sure this one is controlled by. This is the 002 cell 075. So let's find out that one. 075. These pieces. Let's make the threshold lower. And then again, let's take a look. Hopefully this time it will not stuck there. Okay, it was still like that. Alright, I think that's almost impossible. Alright, so I will just keep like that. For these pieces, because it was on the ground, so actually, let's just delete that. It will be easier. Sorry for this kind of tricky operation, but I think it will be easier for us to do this. Okay, so once you finish, let's move all the constraint to the folder so that we can clean up and also do some organizing about our model thing. Choosing all the handle right here and move them to M pieces. Alright, so now let's press slash key, call out the rest model, and let's take a look about the things we have done for this time. Alright, and unhide everything. Let's go to random mode and let's choosing the camera. Control 0, go to the camera view, and let's take a look at the final result. There's little things you can see for now because we have already turned on the gravity. So the particle will falling down. If you don't want the particle falling down, well, we can try to fix that. So first thing is that choosing the emission, the emitter of the particle, go to the particle system, and we can change the physical property. For example, like the mass, let's change to zero point 0.1. So which means it will be super light. Okay, so the effect is pretty much the same, but still it will not falling down. And also, if you take a look about the camera view, you will see, okay, the camera moves super smooth, but usually if you're using the hand or using another way to hold on your camera, it will shake a little bit. So I'd like to add on a keyframe for the camera, location and rotation. And then let's go to using the old trick, let's go to the graphic editor, choosing the camera, the location, modifier, that's using noise, but very slight noise, so probably just 0.02, something like this. Let's go to the camera view, and as far as you can see, now it will shake a little bit, but probably we can do more. Let's do it again. Okay, shake a little bit. So for now it looks fine. And also, I think we can do the same trick on the fork, because for now the fork is too still. I hope that sometimes it can get more dense, and sometimes it can go more transparent. So let's go to the shade editor right here. And as far as you know, the if you want to control the density, we can use in the density parameter to do that. So we can use in this one. At the very beginning, I think a 0.01 will be fine. So let's insert the parameter. And on frame 60, let's change to 0.02, more dense. And let's insert. For next part, it's just about repetition. So let's just copy. 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 Alright, so something like that. So now let's take a look. Let's go to camera view, Control 0. That doesn't have much difference because for now I think still uh, the transition the difference is too low, so we can increase the number probably into 0.7. Now it's a little bit too high. Probably the color we can make this one a little bit more brighter, and also the anisotropes we can make this one lower. Alright, probably just 0.5 will be fine, just like this, and insert, copy the keyframe to the next frame, cast, sorry, past, past. Okay, pretty much now. So let's take a look. The camera was slightly shaking, and the fork will change a little bit as well. Probably the shake is a little bit too much. So let's go to the graphic editor to do the adjustment. Alright, so not a perfect one, but as far as you know, it always takes time to do, to refine it and to improve it. So I think for now, well, that's the things we can do. Let's decrease the number of the shaking, maybe larger of the scale, make the scale bigger. Alright, so that's all. So next time, the final part is about rendering setting. Basically, we can talk about how to using the color management inside Blender, and also about how to using the compositors. Where's the compositor? Right here. Okay. So that's all for this time. Thank you for watching. See you next time.